Welcome to New Teacher Talk. My name is Dr. Nedra Cossa, and I'm an Associate Professor of Elementary Education at Georgia Southern University. Today, I'm going to talk about effective and productive ways to address and resolve conflict through successful communication with colleagues. It's important to note that conflict is a natural part of any profession, not just teaching. Because of the collaborative nature of the field of education, it's essential to address conflicts constructively and respectively to maintain a healthy work environment. For the next few minutes, I'm going to provide you with some tips and suggestions to help address potential situations when they arise. First and foremost, stay calm and self-reflect. Before addressing an issue or concern with a colleague, take some time to process and reflect on the situation. Emotions can escalate conflicts, so it's important to approach the situation with a clear and composed mind. Sometimes it is best to walk away from a situation to help minimize the chance of becoming so emotional that you cannot convey your message. If you become visibly angry or frustrated, that person you're trying to communicate with can be put in a situation where they feel they have to defend themselves, which results in an unproductive conversation. Staying calm will go a long way in being able to communicate and express your thoughts and feelings. There's nothing wrong with taking a step back, giving yourself 24 hours or a couple days to collect your thoughts, calm down, and come up with a plan on how to address this. So next, after you've calmed down, after you've collected your thoughts, it's important to arrange a private one-on-one meeting with the colleague involved. Avoid discussing these concerns or issues in front of others or talking to others in advance, as it can lead to embarrassment or defensiveness and potential conflict later on with other colleagues. Please know that if this private conversation does not help or resolve the issues, then you may need to seek additional support. Once you have established the meeting, let them know what you want to meet about. Nothing's worse than having someone say, "Hey, when you have a moment, I'd like to talk with you," and having no clue what it's about. So give them the heads up. Give them that courtesy. Then, once you sit down to meet with them, revisit why you requested the meeting. Yes, you already mentioned it when you requested the meeting. Now we're just reminding them about what it is that you're going to talk about. At this point, you should then follow up by saying that you would like to share your perspective on the situation and that once you finish, you would like to hear theirs. When you're discussing things with them, calmly express your perspectives and feelings. Try to avoid making accusations, which would put them on the defensive. Instead, use I statements to avoid them feeling like you're blaming them or accusing them. For example, say, "I felt upset when," or "when I saw this happening, it made me feel." Instead of phrasing it in a way that is, again, placing blame on the person you're speaking with. "You made me feel upset. You did this, and this is how you made me feel." Even though it's just a slight change in how you're structuring your sentences, the way that you convey that is going to make a big difference in how that information is received. Okay, so once you have explained and shared your perspective in a calm way, it's time to give your colleague the opportunity to express theirs. You need to actively listen to your colleague's perspective. Give them the opportunity to express their thoughts and concerns without interrupting them. Avoid making assumptions or judgments, and be aware that sometimes the other person may be emotional during this time, and that's okay. However, you need to remain calm. If they become upset and then you become upset, it's going to escalate to the point where there's no productive conversation taking place. So please make sure to maintain a professional and respectful tone throughout the conversation. Avoid personal attacks, insults, or raising your voice. If things tend to start drifting in a different direction in terms of what the discussion should have been about, stick to the issue and remind them politely that you're here to talk about that specific issue that you had identified when you requested the meeting. Once you both have had the opportunity to share your perspectives and thoughts, take some time to reflect on what it is that y'all have discussed and talked about, and then look for areas of agreement or common ground. Identify shared goals or interests, and hopefully that can build a bridge towards resolving this situation. Together, explore possible solutions to the conflict. As educators, oftentimes our conflicts or disagreements stem from ways that we can support students. While you may have a colleague that approaches things differently than you, that doesn't mean that they don't want what's best for their students. If you can keep in mind at the very foundational piece, even though it may be philosophically different, you and your colleague want to help students, help them be successful, then it'll be a lot easier to find a resolution that benefits both you, the teacher you're talking with, and the student, while simultaneously aligning with your common goals. Okay, I mentioned this a few minutes ago, but I'm going to reiterate it. If the conflict continues or the two of you are unable to reach a resolution on your own, it's time to consider involving a neutral third party. This may be your principal or other impartial member of your school. Having someone else present during that time to mediate and help facilitate the discussion may help resolve the issue when the two of you are unable to do so when meeting one-on-one. Please note, you really need to focus and try and resolve this first as a one-on-one conversation. If that's unsuccessful, then you seek a third party. If you go straight to your administration with your concerns, most likely the first thing they're going to say is, well, have you discussed it with them? All right, after the meeting, document the conversation. Consider summarizing the key points you discussed and any agreements you reached in writing. This can be for your personal notes. However, it's also great to communicate this with your colleague to make sure you and that colleague are on the same page. For example, you might say something along the lines of, "Thank you so much for meeting with me today. I'm glad I had the opportunity to discuss my concerns and I appreciate you sharing yours. During our meeting, we discussed and came up with some great ideas." And at this point, you would identify specifically what it was you discussed and some of the ideas that you brainstormed as potential resolutions. Okay? Don't leave it at that. After some time has passed, follow up to see how they feel this proposed resolution is working. This demonstrates that you are committed to maintaining a positive working relationship and ensuring that your students are successful. Use these conflicts as opportunities for personal and professional growth. Reflect on what you've learned and how can you better handle similar situations in the future. As educators, this is also an opportunity to gain additional insight and perspectives about other educators and how they support students. To prevent future conflicts, consider establishing clear communication norms and expectations, not only with that colleague, but other educators or teachers in the school building as well. Promoting an open dialogue and addressing these issues before they escalate can solve a lot of issues down the road. Maintain an open door policy where those that you work with feel comfortable coming in, talking with you regarding questions or concerns. If you are approachable and willing to help them and support them and listen to their concerns, that's going to go a long way in how those relationships develop. Just remember, conflicts can arise in any working relationship, but can also be opportunities for growth, improved understanding, and stronger collaboration in the future. Approach conflicts with the mindset that you're going to come up with a solution and that you're going to be committed to maintaining a positive and respectful working environment at your school. Thank you for listening. I hope you become a regular follower of this podcast channel. And remember, as a new teacher, we are here to help you.